Shabbat Shalom, family. This is Kayal Dewan coming to you again once on another Sabbath. Uh, with my pleasure. I am happy that you are here to join me today. Um, Let us pray. Bow your head. Father Yah, we come here today. We come here with love in our hearts and an open mind. Father Yah, we come here for answers. Father Yah, we come here to reach out to you through your servant. That maybe he may have an answer that I may hear. Father Yah, I pray that he have it. And Father Yah, I pray that I have it. I pray, Father, that you give me the wisdom and the will to teach. Give me the knowledge and the gift of tongue to reach out, touch people, reach their hearts and reach their minds and reach their soul. To help them, Father, in their mission or their travels and in their life. Father Yah, I just love you. So I am here to serve you. I am your vessel to use. And I thank you for it. Father Yah, I pray this class today, Father, give some answers to someone out there that may be reaching and trying to find answers that they need, Father Yah. Father Yahweh, you are the answer always. But we know you speak through your servants. And Father Yah, I just thank you for everything that you've done for me and my family and you continue to do, and my friends and my brother and my sister. Father Yah, I just pray that you continue to wake up those who needs to be woken. Bring them close to you with love and honor and with respect towards you, understanding what they must do to please you, Father Yah, to be your obedient servant. Father Yah, we just thank you for your son, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Father Yah. Father Yahweh, you allow your son to be tortured for such a people such as us. Father Yah, we just thank you for allowing him. And Mashiach Yahweh Shai, we thank you for accepting that task. The water Mashiach Yahweh Shai. The water Yahweh. And with that, Father Yah, we just want to again thank you through Mashiach Yahweh Shai name. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, family. Today is a information class. It's not so much the class is really just information to help you. And the title, I'm gonna get straight to it today because I want to have a conversation about you, and a realistic conversation, and it's moving to Ghana. I can't tell you where else to move, whether it's South Africa or Tanzania or Gambia, any of those places, but I can tell you how you can be successful if you move to Ghana. Now, again, in my description block, y'all can once I finish, everything that I talk about, I kind of written it down so you can go over it in the future. But before I talk to you about moving to Ghana, I'm going to give you 3 verses because we have to understand that we have to plan before we do anything, and that's just a fact. We always have to plan before we do. You know, we just don't get up and do. That's very important. Let us pray. I'm sorry. Proverbs 21 and 5. Proverbs 21 and 5. You can pray about it if you want. You should pray about anything and all things that you do, especially major steps that's moving or moving anywhere. Even if you move to a different city in the U.S., you should pray about it. But I'm going to give you Proverbs 21 and 5, and it reads, Proverbs 21 and 5, if you want to get it. It says, the thoughts of a diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. And that's just a simple way of saying if you plan diligently, you can gain that prosperity. But if you are hasty, you will always only want. You won't achieve your goal. It's just another way of saying that. Luke 14:28 said, "For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, rather he have sufficient to finish it." And that verse is telling you, before you do anything, you do have to look at the cost. You do got to think about, you got to plan out how you're going to finance it and what you're going to do in the future, not just now, but to finish it. The key word is whether he has sufficient to finish it. And we'll talk about what is sufficient to finish later. Now, Proverbs 15:22, and it reads, "Without counsel, proposals are disappointing, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established." So this one is without counsel. It's saying seek out those who've been or are in the place that you're going to leave. Get counsel, honest counsel. Understand the place you're going to go to. And I'm going to go in later about that. This is just Bible verses to confirm, to let you know the Father is telling you never to go in anything blindly, to plan. And it's okay. It's okay. And remember this one verse that will also give you the confidence to do what you got to do, as long as you plan. Proverbs 16:9. And it said, "A man's heart devises his way." You're going to choose your way. But Yahweh directeth his steps. All praises. He will let you plan out your plan. And if it's a righteous plan, he will help direct your steps. He will direct your steps. That's what he's talking about. So those are the only 3 Bible verses I'm going to give you today, because this is more of an information class. But I did want to go into that first about planning and how even that is biblical to plan. Okay. So that's a common thing in life, is to plan. Now, if you want to move to Africa, to one of the countries in Africa, I suggest it. I suggest it because the Bible said, "Go back unto your own nation." But again, I'm not going into that. And I have classes before when I talk about this. This is the information class. But if you come into Ghana, these are the things that you must do. First of all, the first thing you must do is get your passport. You ain't going nowhere without your passport. Now, that's a common sense. You have to get your passport. And and the closer these places get to destruction, the harder it's going to be to get your passport. So, personally, I don't know why every Black American shouldn't have their passport, just in case. If you have the money, the funds to purchase your passport, why would you not have your passport? Even if you just wanted to travel outside the country, why would you not have your passport? Now, in Ghana, they introduces the Ghana eVisa. So now you can get your Ghana eVisa online now. That's a new thing. I have the website in the description block if you want to go to it. But you can get your eVisa now online. And instead of having to go to the embassy or getting it on arrival, which they probably don't do anymore. I'm not sure. I think they still do it on arrival, but probably costly, because now they offer the eVisa. And that ain't been operating for more than a month. So a little over a month. That's they just started their eVisa program. Now, once you decide that you're gonna come to Ghana. You want to check it out. You want to see what's here and what's not. Now, some people make multiple trips. Now, me personally, I don't believe in making multiple trips because that's money I could have been investing into building myself a home uh, or starting myself a business. Trips can be expensive, 2 to 3 thousand a piece, two people, 4,000. $4,000 go a long way in building a home here. A long way in building a business here. So I'm going to reduce the amount of time that I am going to be going back and forth. I know people say you keep going back and forth. To me, that's a waste of money. That's just my opinion. It doesn't take me long to make that decision. Maybe for others, it do. I see what I want. I see what's going on the ground. I take the good and I take the bad. I do not hang out in the tourist areas all the time. I find someone that can give me a tour of the real life situations. I sit down and talk to people. I do my research before I get there. And then I decide. But I'm not going to do it in 10 trips. 10 trips could be easily $10,000. $10,000. That's over 100,000 CDs here. Another 200, another 100 to 150, another 10,000 or $12,000. I could have built me a small home. Yeah, just going back and forth. To me, I'm a sufficient type of guy. You make your decision on what you're going to do, you decide, and you do it. You step out on faith, you make your plan. And we're going to talk about the plan later. But I'm going to try to walk you through. But when you first come, before you truly start to make your plan and you want to see what Ghana is about. So I'm going to tell you what you do when you hit the ground in Ghana. When you hit the ground in Ghana, and you most likely you're going to be on a tour. Uh, Most of you going to come in a tour group. Now, some tour groups offer you, they'll take you to places where they will show you land, they will do this and that. And I have no problem with that. But you also need to look openly outside of what they show you. If you know someone on ground or somebody on the ground, because they can show you other lands outside the lands that the tour group has made deals with or have worked with particular chiefs, and they are working with them. So price may be cheaper outside that. Most of the time it is, to tell you the truth. So, but when you're working with a group and you're working with one particular chief and he knows that they're American, sometimes they will up the price. Well, hell, most probably 98% time they will up the price. I'll tell you the truth. But if you come in and you may know somebody in that been here 5 6 years, they may know the chiefs. They may like me. I know them personally, and that's nothing. I just know them personally. They eat at my house. We talk. We talk about projects in my community. Because I'm trying to build a diaspora community as well. So you get different prices from the associations that the individual or the groups have with the chiefs here in the Asante Kingdom. You know, so so that is something that you also have to think about, uh, and I'm gonna talk about that too. That goes in with the counseling. Um, um, when it said without counsel, proposals are disappointing. Proverbs 15:22. Counsel is that's when that scripture come in telling you to have counsel with someone before you make plans. Even come in with a tour group, because again, tour groups sometimes have their own agendas. Uh, a lot of them are that aspacts or the aspirins that are coming over here, and they use that as a form of business. There's nothing wrong with that because a lot of them do work hard to get your land paperwork and they establish things like that for you. So they are working hard. They are going out their way. They are using their gas. They are taking their time. They are doing these things for you so that you don't have to do it. They are making a connection for you to get your residency, or they doing all these things for you. And so some of them may charge as a business to help maintain their lifestyle as well. Now I don't charge, but some do, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, because they're going out their way to help others. Me personally, I just tell people to pay it forward. But so once you hit on the ground and you come here on the ground, and oh, I'm sorry. For those who don't know me, I'm assuming that everybody watching this know me. But if you don't know me, I am Kaya Dewan. I've been here over 6 years. I have established a business. I have built a home, uh, self-sufficient. I am doing my own farming. I'm kind of doing what most people say they want to come over here and do. That a lot of people sometimes fail to do, but it's their purpose to do. And I am nobody special. I just had a plan. I stayed focused on that plan, and I didn't give up on that plan. And I lean on the Most High because I know that nothing I do, it's not through the power of the Most High Yahweh and His Son Mashiach Yahweh Shai. I am not confused about that. And with that, let me go back to what I was talking. So once you hit the ground here, and I have helped several families and several friends and people that have come to Ghana that came to Kumasi area. I have helped quite a few, and I always one of the first thing I do is get them a Ghana non-citizen card. And they said, well, if you are thinking about coming here, even if you change your mind in the future, it's easy for you to once you get your non-citizen Ghana card, you can get your phone here. You can even establish a bank account here at some of the local banks without your residency. So, and that's another thing. I will work with you on that later if you are interested in staying. But but you need to get a non-citizen card. Now, the non-citizen card is 120 American dollars. Then they go by the rate of what that is at the time, because you know the dollar rate changes with the Ghana CD. So if you plan to stay, and you know you plan to stay, and you have a driver's license, uh, oh, one of the main things I tell everybody before you come, um, get your international driver's license. And any of you can do that if you have a driver's license. Just go to AAA. If you're in the United States, go in there with your driver's license. I heard it went up a little bit, maybe $50 at the most, and then they give it to you on the spot. All you have to do is have a, a, a driver's license at the time. Well, once you get that, you can come over here and drive for a year. So if you stay a full year, you drive for a year, you will have to get a regular driver's license. It will only be good for a year. So get your international driver's license. So then when you hit the ground, if you choose to drive, then you can drive. Now, so after that, after you get your international driver's license in the state that you're in, you come over here. If you want to get your license and you want to stay here, you decided that you're going to stay here, you can get your driver's license. Now that is something I will talk to you offline about, but you can get your driver's license. All right, it is a procedure, but it can be done. Because the thing is, you're going to need your non-citizen card, not necessary your driver's license unless you want to drive. But your non-citizen card, if you want to start a business here, if you want to get your residency, if you get a business, you have to pay your taxes. Some of the government buildings require you to show your identification, your non-citizen card or your Ghana card, your Ghana non-citizen card, same thing, to do work or do business with them. So, including the banks. So that's one of the things that you would have to get. So you just think along that line, get your non-citizen card. It's the first step. You can get you a Ghana phone while you're here. So when you hit Ghana again, you ain't using your long distance service, which can be 25 cents a minute. So you just get you a Ghana card, a Ghana phone, and you get the Ghana system, which is MTN or the other system. I can't remember the name, start with a V. But you get one of the data systems, and then you can call back and forth through the states, or you can use your WhatsApp. You don't, even if you have a phone in the states, just use your WhatsApp. Because WhatsApp is free to a point. But if you need to call, you can get your Ghana phone. That's what I would do. I'm telling you what I would do if you want to be successful. I will go ahead and toss out the 120, get my Ghana card if I'm truly believing or at the point of thinking that I may come back to stay. Saves me a lot of time next time I get here, and I can open up and be ready to do things once I hit the ground. Okay, now we at the point when you came over here, you saw what you saw, you liked what you liked, and you have a plan. Now, what goes into this plan? Before you make this plan, you got to think about these particular areas. And I'm going to rent a place to stay in. And the way you rent here is they do a year or two. I mean, legally they do not supposed to do that, but they do it. A lot of the landlords will make you pay up a year up front, or some will even suggest that you have to pay 2 years. But legally, they don't supposed to be able to do that. But if a landlord can make any other excuse not to allow you to stay. So, example, if I went to a landlord here and I wanted to rent a place here in Ghana, and it was, and I didn't want to pay up to a year, but there's another guy over next to me who's willing to pay up to a year, who is he going to rent it to? Me or you? Now, he's not going to say that he's renting it to him because he's renting it for a year and you don't want to rent it for 3 months, because that would be illegal. But he can say, I don't like his character. I don't like this, or I don't like that. And then you can say, well, that's not fair. But it's business. In all reality, if you had a business and someone was going to lease it out for a year, or somebody wanted to do it every month, which one would you choose? See, sometimes reality has to hit us instead of saying what's fair and what's not. Business is business. I'm a businessman, so I understand that. So he's going to take the most profitable way or for him to make money. So get over that with your feelings if you have feelings about that. Because honestly, most of you would do the same thing. Now, so you got to decide whether you're going to rent or whether you're going to build a home. If you are planning to build a home, that comes with certain things that you have to open your eyes to. The first thing is land purchase. And that is, again, when you go on these tour groups, they will offer you land sometime or purchase land, and then some people even tell you they can give you free land. But my theory in life, nothing's free. Read the small print. That's all I'm going to tell you. Now, the blueprints, you got to bring blueprints or if you have an idea of how you want your home built, you can bring that. If you really want to build you a home, you can have it In the States, it's easy to get. You can probably get online and get blueprints and stuff like that. That's all homes that are already built. Now, yeah, I understand homes here are built with cement most of the time. They do have different types of home. They ground earth. They call it ground earth or brown earth. I don't care. With earth bags, they have different forms of way you can build homes here that are accessible. But 98% of the homes here are built with cement, bricks, and blocks. So that is what most people want to build their homes with, and that's just the fact. That's where they are right now. That's where they've been for 1,000 years here. So they are moving towards some new modern things, but they're not using wall plaster like they use in the States. The homes are pretty sturdy here. They're strong. They are made of cement. So now, if you want an engineer here to make you blueprints to build your home, you can do that too. They have, just like the States, they have engineers here, they have doctors here, they have everything here, just like in the West. Now that can cost you. Like instant, when I first got here, I had my blueprints built, made for my home before I built it, and it cost me $1,000 for the engineers to do it. Now it's a pretty thick book, and it's very big specific with the areas and the sizes and stuff, but it was $1,000. Uh, so it wasn't cheap. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you can bring your own because you get a good engineer. He can still build from what you have created or what you brought. You know, and then you would say, well, don't you need specifications? Don't I need this? Depending on what area you move in, if you move in the city of Accra or the Kumasi, in certain places, there are certain limitations to what you can do in those particular areas. Like I have a friend who owns he's Ghanaian and American, but he owns a you would call it a small inn or hotel or three apartment suite. Say suite, or more like a suite. And he's been there for a while, but there's another guy building another hotel across from him. He was building it too high, would block his view on the camp from the campus to where people cannot see his particular place. And he took him to court and he won. So the guy can't build that high. So there are certain things in the city, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that you will have certain limitations on what you can do and how you can build. Now, if you go out to the countryside, or what we would call the countryside, or the towns or the villages, there's most of the time there's no limit to what you can build. It's just where you can build. Because you have an area for residency, then you have resident for areas for growing food and crops. You can't build your house in the middle of area that they designated the chiefs and the elders designated for those to grow crops. And that basically what it is. So when you buy your land, they will tell you which areas you can build your homes and which areas you can, if you just want to be a farmer, you can farm. That's another option you have if you want to come here and farm. So it's a lot of information, and I'm trying to make it simple. But if you need more information from me, you can write me, and I can converse back and forth with you. I'm just trying to give people the basics right now. So again, uh, once you came here, you seen the place, you say, okay, I'm gonna stay, or I'm gonna give it a try. And like I said, you got to look at the land purchase, and then you got to look at getting how you want what blueprints on how you get your house built. Then you got to figure out a time period and what you're going to do it in. Now, this is to me is one of the most important things because when you hit the ground, if you plan on building, this is for those who plan on building their home. If you plan on building your home, that should determine how long you do your lease. For instance, with me, I gave myself 2 years to build my home. Now, that's a sufficient amount of time. And it was, because I did it in about 11 months. But I leased a place for 2 years. So I didn't start right away building my home. And I probably would have got it done. So I came pretty close to uh, having to release another place, which, like I said, most of them do it for a year or two. So I didn't want that financial burden. I wanted to move straight from my lease into my home, whether it was finished or not. And what I mean by that, if it was livable, if I had windows, I had glass, I had this roof, I had some electrical power, not maybe in all the rooms, but I had a 4, 5 bedroom house sort of. So it was livable, and it was. And then I can come in and I can slowly. But I was blessed through the Most High because I had friends here who had apartments who were not here yet that were planning on coming. So I stayed out at the house, and that my wife and daughter temporarily stayed in one of their apartments. And it wasn't but a month then they moved in with me. So in that 2 years, I went over about a month. And I could have had it done earlier, but I started a business and I took my focus away from um, building my home and focused on most of my monetary on building my business. The business is still here. It's a laundry service. Like I said, I've been here almost 6 years. I had two laundry services at first, but that's a story I go into at another time. Um, but what I'm saying is, sometimes your plans don't work out the way you want them to work out, but they work out. And that's where you stay steady. Now, this is why I say these are the things that you have to figure out what you want to do. Stay focused on what you want to do before you get here. Are you going to just come here and rent, or are you going to come here and build your home? Know this before you come. Don't guess when you come here. So figure out the positives and the negatives of renting, and then the positive and negatives of building. Now, I can tell you those. The positive of renting is that it will cost you less than building. The negative, that it will never be your place, that rental, but the housing will if you build it. The negative is very time consuming once you start building your home. That's why you need someone on the ground. That's what I was talking about. A counsel, when if someone's building, you need someone on the ground. So you need someone on the ground to process your plan. So if your plan is partly starting to build, you need someone on the ground if you can. Sorry about that. You need the funds available to build, and if not over a span of time. You may not have it all at that time, but you can slowly build. Most Ghanaians, truthfully, take something between, to me, 8 and 10 years to build their homes. And you say, oh, that's a long time. But yes, that's what they do. They slowly build their homes. They build a small part that's functionable and livable, and then they continue building the rest. They take it as a process. I know in the United States, we want everything built when we walk in. We want everything structured before we come in. That's not the ideology they have here. So a lot of people that come to Africa, they see a lot of half-built homes, and they think they are homes that are destructive or abandoned, or no. These are homes that someone is slowly building. They may take 7, 8 years, 10 years to build these homes. But since the homes are made of brick, they can keep coming back. So the foundation is made of brick, the infrastructure is made of brick, so they can keep coming back to keep continue building. And so it's not a regularly building, it's just that it's in the process of being built. So that's one of the things in the States. You got to come out of that mind frame of what you see. You think uh, is it's not like the West, because in the West they build homes quickly because one, they make them out of cardboard. It's easy to build a home out of cardboard. I call those homes built out of cardboards. You hit a light match to it, the thing go up in flames. You know, most of the cement houses, they may catch on fire, but the foundation and the infrastructure will stay intact. The roof may burn because the roof may be made out of flammable material, which is wood, for the shell on the top, but pretty much the rest of the house will still be there. Cement doesn't burn. Try it. Take the gas. Look, no, don't try it. I would tell somebody to do something, but it doesn't burn. Not really. So, so those are the things that you, if you decide to build, you have to look. You should bring some blueprints or plan on paying someone, an engineer, to make you some and figure out the time period that you are going to build your home with the funds available, and and have someone on the ground processing your plan. Those are the things that once you have decided, after you visit or multiple visits, that's your choice. Again, I talked about I don't waste a lot of money on multiple visits. That's money I could have been putting in my home or building or business. So I have some ideas that I want to share to you to help you with your plan, to help it become successful. So now you at the point. I came here. I said, okay, you know what? I'm staying, bro. I'm going to go in and take a chance. You know, so then I got to look at my household. I got to look at my wife's work. I got to look at my work. I got to look at what we have in our bank account. I got to look at what we have in our savings account. I got to look at my 401k. Now, I know a lot of you don't want to hear this. You know, a lot of Israelites say the dollar is going to fall. When the dollar is going to fall, that means the dollar is going to fall. That means your 401k going to fall. I'm giving you an idea. Sometimes you need to take that money out and invest it in some kind of tangible land, building, houses, something you're going to do. But anyway, I digress. That's one option you can look at, the 401k. But if you plan on, if you're not serious and you're like, well, I want to go back to America, and you know, that's your choice. But I personally going to take advantage of everything that I have if I come to invest and do what I have to do. If I go somewhere, if I do something. So, so an idea for you, an idea for you. This is one I thought of, is that if you have family members and you look at your family, your wife, uh, your husband, or even a group. If you had a group of people who say, "Hey, we're gonna go. We decided to go, and we're gonna make it happen." After you visit, you know, and you saw it, and you walked around, and you decided that you're gonna do it. Hey, we're going for it. I say personally, send a member. I call it an advanced party, an advanced man. Hey, everybody don't have to come. That's money that y'all could be investing in building your home. The whole family don't have to come the second time or the third time. It could be one person that you trust with some knowledge and some skills who can start implementing this plan in this family or in this group. That way you still have a source of income coming in back in the rear. So somebody is still continuing their job, they're still working, they're still doing what they have to do, but they investing that money in you. They have decided they're gonna have the discipline that they're not gonna be concerned with the wealth of the world in the West, and invest in a new world that they plan on keeping in Africa. Moving their money there. building them a home. So by that, whoever that advanced person is, he should be there scouting our land, buying land, building that foundation for that home. If it's multiple families, and that's even better. If you can get a group, 2 or 3 families, and y'all can build a multiple home, you, it's beautiful, and it's not as costly for each family member because you all can build a 8 to 10 bedroom home with separations, or a sub suite home where each family had their own little department in an acre or 2 acres of land, and y'all can work together and y'all can build together, and then y'all can even send members of each family to go out and work on that land, or to be the advanced party, but you work together. This is what we need to learn how to do as a people. This is where we fail. We can be successful. We don't have to suffer as much as you think we have to. But somebody or group is going to have to take the chance. Someone's going to have that faith. Someone's going to have to going to have it for the rest. And it can be done. I ain't trying to be racist and all, but that's how the Mexicans did it. When they come to America, they come in and someone rent an apartment. Next thing you know, there's 10 of them living in that apartment. And they saving up their money. But it took one person to get there first. It took one person to make it happen for the rest. We come here and we're selfish. We come here and we say, I'm going to get mine. What about your family? Now, my family, they know they always welcome. And they know I'm always going to be here to help them. They just choose not to come. And that's their choice. I still love them. That's their choice. I know for a fact they would have a better life here. Well, many of them, especially to those ones that retired. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. For those who have retired and they make over $1,500 a month, you definitely need to leave. You can come and move here and have a very good life. But that is when we talk about an income source coming in. That's the income source. If your family, you have multiple members of family with incomes, then y'all can all come over here. Well, the advanced party person to set up, build a home in a year. That when you get here, then everybody have a place to stay. And the way you have a home here is you don't have a monthly mortgage once you build a home. The home is yours. There's no monthly fees. There's no HOA. Well, some people who offer free land, they do create HOAs and stuff, what they call free land. They offer HOAs and stuff like that. And they're nothing against that. Everybody do what they want to do. I don't not promote that. I don't not promote anytime anybody wants to come here and create and start anew. One, it takes courage to do that. It takes strength in the Father to do that. It takes faith to do that. And nobody's fleeing because you build a home in another country doesn't mean you fleeing. Even though the Bible tells you to leave that country, but go back to your own nation. But even if you went by the thought or the knowledge or the simple fact that people got homes all over the world, other nations. Greeks and Caucasians got homes all in France and Paris. They got homes everywhere. Why when black people, some reason, when we say we're going to go build a home in Africa, we all of a sudden fleeing? Why can't you be a multi-businessman? Why can't you just have multiple homes? Why can't you just be a smart businessman? Why every time we do it, our own people or to look down for you, down on you and tell you you're fleeing. I mean, honestly, you should flee that wicked place. But that ain't the point. So that I don't get. So I'm gonna keep on going. So the income, so that would be a good thing if you can establish. If you have multiple people or in family members, you have multiple groups, and y'all do an advance party, and y'all all support the financial build of the home. Because when you build a home, you can build your own water. You can get your own borehole, and you have your own water. You don't even go to a water company no more. You have your own source of water. You can get your own solar power, and then you don't even have to go through the ECG or the government solar power system here. You have your own power. In Africa, it's nothing but sun all year round. So you can become what I call self-sustained. And if you get an acre or two of land, you can start growing your own food. Ain't nobody from the government gonna come telling you can't grow what you can't grow on your property. You can grow anything you want, and you can grow. You can not only you can grow anything you want, you know, but you can also build your house the way you want it to look. No one's gonna come over there and say, if you want to have a pink house, you can have a pink house. If you want to have a greenhouse, you can have a greenhouse. Here, those obstacles, unless you live in an area where you have agreed. So, like a lot of the areas uh, that the chiefs have offered free land, or those areas sometimes do have some restrictions. But if you purchase your land and you in mostly the sub communities, I would best say, uh, they don't have no rules. Not really, no rules. I can't think of any. I've been in my home uh, many years, and I ain't never had one rule. You know, so I tell you guys this, because I think it would be a good idea if some of you sought to do it that particular way, the group or the family member. Not everybody come, one maintain his job maybe 6 months, and then y'all build from there. And the one can build and keep continue to finance, and maybe the one with the that makes the less, they can go if they were dependable. You know, or organization. If it's a group of you, a group is even better. You can build 2 or 3 family, what y'all can call family homes, or starter homes for the groups that come there that wants to start businesses and stuff like that. you know so, and then you when you come here and y'all start building, you're going to come to trying to start businesses while you're building. So you're going to have to get licenses for your businesses, just like in the States. You got to get a license, especially as a foreigner, because the immigration is going to be bothering you if you don't. So, and there's ways you can do that, and I can help you with that. I'm not going to talk about it online, but I do tell you, you need to get it's more economically feasible if you get a Ghanaian to be a partnership with you. And I know that may scare some of you, especially if you putting up all the capital. But you talk to me offline, I can tell you how you can work with that. I ain't gonna say work around it. I'm gonna say with that. So, and then and the other thing, before you come to Ghana or Gambia or Tanzania or South Africa, learn their culture. Learn about the people that are in that area. Learn about what tribes are there and some of their traditions. So you're not culturally shocked. Look up some videos on them. Watch a couple of videos, and it don't take that time. Learn about them. Learn about their history. Learn about the place that you're going to. Don't you do that anyway? If you go to Paris, You sitting there looking at brochures, learning about Paris or Rome and stuff like that. If you're gonna go there, do the same with Africa. Just because their history is not as prominent as the YT people, the Caucasian people make theirs to be, doesn't mean that their history is not important. In fact, theirs is more important because it goes back even further and it connects to you. They're part of your blood. So, in a sense, they could possibly be part of your blood, depending on what tribe or what area you go. But the point is, uh, they're most likely more connected to you than those that history that you're so proud to learn if you go into these other countries. And I know a lot of you see a lot of movies and you say, well, I don't want to learn about history. They were living in the jungle and they were no. We were the greatest creators and the minds of all time. The first university was here in Africa, in Timbuktu. The Greeks and the Romans came down there to learn, to go back to teach their people. You have a powerful culture and history here in Africa of knowledge, of inventions, of many things. Don't be ashamed of what you don't know. Take a chance to learn, and you'll be shocked. And if you are an Israelite like me, you know you are an Israelite like me, and you accept that title, then you're gonna understand, especially the West Coast, that they are most likely your bloodline, whether they the Ibu or whether they the most of you Ibu or one of the tribes that was sent into slavery. That's part of your family. They are Israelites from the Sub-Saharan, the Congo. Those are Israelites. Those are your blood, and you should want to learn about them. And if you want to start learning about them, and the different tribes that are possibly linked to being Israelites, I can give you where you can start. Start with learning about the Bantu kingdoms. Bantu, Bantu kingdoms. And that's where you're going to trace the Israelites' blood. That is where you're going to trace you. So once you have establish a feasible plan, you say, okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning. You got up, them days, you say, you know what, I'm headed to Ghana. I'm gonna check it out. I checked it out. I like what I seen. My family liked what they seen. We went back home to our job. I got a job, my wife got a job, my daughter may have a job, or she may be young, who knows? And I ain't working. But so I look at her, you say, you know what? I'll look at them and I say, either you or me gonna go. Most likely it would be me, because if you are a man, you can do better business in Ghana. That's just the truth. And if you are a woman, you still can do it. That doesn't stop you. I'm just telling you a fact because of the way the culture is. The men are the heads here. And then you could argue with that, but you have to understand that is God's will. The head of a woman is a man. The head of a man is Yahweh Shai. The head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. So they do deal easily with a man than a woman sometimes. Sometimes. But if that's an obstacle you have to face and you're a woman, then you face it. And you'll be successful because you have the Most High behind you. And a lot of times, if you can find a brother in the truth, or if you are an Israelite, that will help support you. So if you do have any problems with any um, the males and they ego, which they have that in the States, you can handle it. And I know a lot of you women say, I can handle it anyway. It's different here. You can handle it, they just ignore you. So and then like I always say, you can't bring that what I call the American attitude here. I ain't talking about black or white attitude, that American attitude where you feel everybody has to serve you. But sometimes, now we all don't have that. So You just got to come with an open mind. And again, study their culture first. So if you study their culture, you will understand those small nuggets that I just talked about. The role of a woman, how they feel the role of a man, and this and that. And that's not going to stop you from achieving your goal. That's their culture. But you going these are the people you're going to be around, so you should at least understand them. I hope that makes sense. You should at least understand them. So make your plan. Decide. Like I said, I came over here. I like what I said. Then I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna build me a home. So once I decided I'm gonna build me a home, I said, okay, I may lease for 2 years, but in my plan, I want my house built in that 2 years. Maybe I'll put $1,000 a month in building that home. You know, $1,000 a month will easily build a home here. They'll probably do in 2 years. So you so somebody gotta be in the advance party to go. Or if you can't send nobody in that advance party, it gotta be somebody you really, really trust in Ghana to do that with. You just do. So so that is what you decided. So I'm gonna build me a home. So I made a plan. My say me. I say, okay, I'm gonna go or I send a friend and I sent them money and they start building me a home, and once they finished the home, my family gathered together and then we went as a group. Or if it was two families and the two or three families and they got together and they sent somebody at an advance party and then they build the home and then once they build the the, the home, the huge home with the suites where they have different departments where each family lives, and then they did that home and then all they came once it was done. But if we work together, we can create that. If we had that form of unity, that we can do that, it would be great. That is where we fail at the most. I wish we had that type of unity, uplifting and helping each other. I don't see it. Hmm. I wish it was there. I pray one day it will be there. I do believe it will be. I think it will be forced on many, but it will be there. So, so once you make that plan, you good. But there's a lot of brothers here in Ghana that will support. Many of you who are willing to do that. I'm one. I know many others will too. If you need help in South Africa, I know brothers in South Africa that will help you. You need people in Tanzania. I know people in Tanzania that will help you. I know in Gambia, they all are willing to help you if you are willing to make that move. Now, what I mean by help is they're not gonna carry your hand every step you go, but they're gonna try to guide you in the right direction and hopefully try to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that they made. That's why we're advanced party, to make sure you don't make the same mistakes we made. The Most High sent us here so we can make it easier for you, cause He know you coming. Many of you, whether you want to or not, right now. Some of you just don't see. The scales are still on your eyes, but they will be removed soon. And with that, brothers and sisters, I just want to just tell you, again, the first steps when you get here, I got them on that description block. You get your Ghana phone, and you can get you an account if you here. You can get, even if you want a driver's license. Make sure you get your international driver's license. I'm gonna repeat that before you come here, and it's only good. Your international driver's license is good for a year once you get it. So every year you're gonna have to update it, and then if you plan on staying, and then you start looking at the land and getting your blueprints, and there's always someone here wants to sell you land. Be careful with that. I have helped many people purchase land here. I don't get no commission. I talk directly with the chiefs, and most of the time, 99% of them didn't even have to pay the finder's fee that they pay somebody to help them get the land. I didn't even accept that because I wanted them to focus on their living, and I didn't want, and that's normally 10%. So most of the time, if someone come here and say they're going to show you land, I want to shoot it by land. You have to also pay them 10%. So if the land costs uh, $2,000, you have to pay them $200. 10% of that, 10% of the cost for the finder's fee, in addition to what the land costs. So that is how it works here. That's not a scam. That's just how it works here. It's a finder's fee. It's just like if you in a realtor in the state. He's the realtor. He's found a home. He knows the owner. In this case, they know the chiefs, and then they bring you out to the chiefs, and the chief takes his time, and he takes his time to show you the land. That's just how it works. They may not look as professional as a realtor in a suit and a tie, but it's the same thing. Okay? There's a lot of time in the States because you got a loan from the bank. The banks pay sometimes the realtor, or you pay the realtor. It depends. But that realtor is getting paid. So when you come over here, you just look at it, it's sort of all the same. It's just a different look. That's what I have come to the conclusion of. So like I said, I hope this helped you to become better successful when you get here. It's a chance. Believe me, it's worth it. Believe me, it is worth it, brothers and sisters. And with that, I know this class was a little longer than the rest of mine, but it was one of information. If you got any questions, you write me. You give me your email, as I'm not going to do it through the YouTube page where everybody can watch. I will give you the answers the best I can give you if you are serious about moving to Ghana. And if I can't help you the area I'm in, I find someone hopefully that can help you in the area that you are going to. I'm sorry. Okay, brothers and sisters, with that, I love you. You take care. You take care, and I hope you have a wonderful Sabbath. All praises to the Most High.